If you saw today's notification, I put and I'll allude to what I'm saying here. What I'm about to show you. I put consider how your mood is colored when I say the words or the word study. Then consider the fact that that's everything we do. So why not make it fun? Literally everything we do. Where along those lines do we and then I was writing here, like I got sidetracked from doing statistics. I wrote this. This might turn into a. Are you jumping? This might turn into an article. So, like, I asked interesting questions here, right? Like, where along the lines of formal and informal practice do we begin to separate ourselves from the encompassing activities? The activities that make up study, education, and learning, right? And like I said, that's all we do. That's literally all we do. So, but there's a boundary there, right? And then I continue to ask, how far must we go to get to what is considered an education, and at what cost? Given that we separate. Like most of the time that we're learning something, we separate ourselves from that, right? But what's the cost of that? And then I continue. Some say that education is like scaling a mountain. Others say that it's a far and long journey from where they are now. And I believe that these analogies are counterintuitive insofar as they only motivate a small portion of us. Right? Imagine that. Like the majority of us don't want to scale mountains. We just don't. That's just a fact, right? The majority of people don't like walking for miles upon miles. And to top it all off, it's like it's counterintuitive to simply state that it's all hard work to get to where we want to be. A common expression is, life's tough. We get the best things in life by grinding, or by keeping up the grind. So get used to it. Notice how distant we are when we say that. When we say those things. So when we say those things, right? Notice how like I would assume the majority of people are positive people, right? But notice how much negativity that invokes, right? That brings up. And then consider that, like I said, learning and studying and whatever we consider an education is everything that we do. So I think like these analogies they're there because there's a separation between formal and informal practice. And so it's this music. And so like I think we have to orient ourselves with all the positive things about what can actually drive learning, education, and study, because it's just the fact that we live in the informal realm, right? But all of these things, like, we learn how to learn in the formal sense, in the formal context, and that's worth knowing, because once we learn how to learn in an informal setting, then all of those things that matter that school is teaching, it's actually meaningful and valuable to us, and it can connect to us. Yeah. I mean, there are some people too that that live in the formal realm, right? But consider how connected, you feel when you're around those people, right? And how relatable they are. And I think the best way to learn is through the people that you can relate to and that you can approach better, right? And how relatable and approachable are people who are formal, right? And then consider, if you are going to approach those people, how you change in that sense, right? Like how honest in those interactions are you to yourself, like you towards your to how honest are you to how honest are you just expressing yourself in those interactions? These are really things to keep in mind. Yeah, I mean even in the formal sense, like formal is really subjective, because like what is considered formal to one person might not be considered formal to another person. Because like some people they're just more formal, but that's their casual, right? Like consider the stream, right? This is a study stream. Like a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, this is formal, but it's fun. No, this is informal to me. This is very informal because I can do it, but it's not to say that it's disorganized. That's not to say that that I don't know what I'm doing here, right? It's not to say that there's no structure at all. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Does that make sense at all? All I was trying to say in that is, I think through embracing who we are, where we tend to live, like in the informal setting, I think, like, and we learn how to learn there, I think we'll be better off. A lot of people will be more better off, and they'll really see that like study, education, and learning is everything that happens. Like, every interaction changes us, in some it doesn't have to be big ways, in small ways. In some way though, because we're passing through time. It's not like our brains aren't working at those times. Yeah. So, and there is such thing as unconscious learning. Okay, let's start this next Pomodoro.